Good morning. I'm Barbara Voss, Unity in Lynnwood Prayer Chaplain. An Aramaic translation of the Beatitude, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God," could read, "Healed are those who have the courage and audacity to feel abundant inside. They shall envision the furthest extent of life's wealth." When we practice self-compassion, it is not only a way to reduce stress, but it generates more positive emotions, one of life's wealth. We have a sense of self-worth and connection without comparison. 3 components of self-compassion are self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Today, get comfortable in your chair, close your eyes, notice your breath within your body, and practice breathing mindfully. Imagine you're standing behind your body, holding and hugging yourself, sending love and acceptance for whatever sensations you're experiencing in your body. Step inside your body and feel that love flowing through you, even to parts of yourself that you find difficult to accept. Just for a short time, as you feel compassion for yourself, repeat in your mind any of these words of friendship to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May I be filled with loving kindness. And as you say these words to yourself, feel the loving kindness flowing through your body, through all of your body, as we sit in silence. As you're in this meditative state, I'm going to read the words again to you. May I be filled with loving kindness, and then feel yourself filled with loving kindness and the loving kindness all around you. May I be held in loving kindness. I feel held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. I am connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. I do accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. I am happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. I know the natural joy of being alive. And may I be filled with loving kindness. I am filled with loving kindness, and loving kindness is all around me. Continue to wish yourself well as you hold yourself in the energy of loving kindness. As you return to this space, notice your breath. Reach up and lightly touch your eyes and notice your feet on the floor. As the sacred time of silence comes to a close, we are thankful for the flow of loving kindness. We welcome our church family to our celebration service, and we know that divine love greets and enfolds everyone here. Thank you.
Let's sit in stillness as we settle into today's service. Take a deep breath. And another. Within us, we have the power of stillness to disconnect from worldly noise and open to our soul's truth every day. Where is our power? Our hearts are our power, encompassing soft tenderness as well as the fiery strength of protection for the vulnerable. Our adaptability is our power. We sway like branches in the wind to weather storms. We bend like the willow to stroke the grass and touch the sky. Yet we bow down to none but divinity itself, because our core values are our power. Our community is our power. Our strength is multiplied when we stand in support of each other. We become far more than individuals, enriching ourselves in our shared diversity. Our voice is our power, refusing to be silenced. We sing the heavens within us. We recognize the resonance of harmony that vibrates in all life. Our faith is our power, understanding that one power transcends all. We are life, and we embody the divine. There is no greater power, and we are not afraid. May we live in love and know our true power. And so it is.
Come into the quiet and let the silence say all those things you'd like to hear each and every day. Come into the quiet, you can listen to the stars. Come into this place, come into this place, come into this place, come as you Would you enjoy standing up and greeting each other for a little while? How about we do that? Please start making your way to your seat and let's sing together. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Let's do it again. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. How about love? Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I. How about joy? Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. How about peace? Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Thank you, Becca. Good morning. My name is Sally West, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to Unity in Lynnwood this morning. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or with us online, we are thankful for your presence. Presence is really what Unity is all about. Being present to our genuine selves. It's a crazy world out there, have you noticed? But within each of us is a haven of peace. And among us together is a safe, sacred space for authenticity and caring. We honor the essential divinity of each person and respect all cultural backgrounds, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientations, ages, and abilities. We believe that divisions are a mirage, human-made projections on society's screen. They belie our true oneness as children of a common source. So this is a place to be yourself without fear, to let go of anxiety, and relax into a transcendent journey of the heart. Reconnect with your own spiritual essence and know that it is home. Welcome, one and all.
Yes. When you're wondering what this life is all about, why we get out of bed are here. We're all wanting to connect, to know that we are loved. And so, until that's clear, when you think that love has left you all alone, or it seems like time's not on your side, trust in our humanity, honor what you feel. Oh yes, these are our guides. They'll take us on a journey of compassion, set us free to live a life that's authentic and true. We'll see. It may take a lifetime to understand why we're here and how to truly live. It doesn't matter what we face, together we will learn how to love and how to forgive. Is present everywhere, through our birth and through our death, and the traumas we touch unite us, so use every breath to inhale that everlasting ripple, the one that ends where we have just begun. On this path we're all together while we seek and learn. We're loved, we're connected, we are one.
Wow. Wow. Let's have another round of applause for Becca. And by the way, am I on? That, in case you didn't know, was original. So not only is she a brilliant singer, pianist, composer, spiritual leader, and Sally, poetry. Thank you so much. All original, all created here. Wow. Well, good morning. Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. You gorgeous bunch of souls. Oh my goodness. Looking really good today. My name is Elizabeth Nachman, and I would like to let you know that really nothing makes me happier than to be up here celebrating Sunday with all of you. I feel like we should never, ever take this opportunity for granted, that we can come together in such a lovely place with such thoughtful and amazing people who choose to see the light in one another. What is not to love about that? Thank you. So we always like to extend a special welcome to our virtual family and let them know that we feel them here. And I am informed by the marvelous monitor that there are 11 people watching online. That is so cool, including Dale in Lake Stevens. Welcome, Dale. And you're the only name I see, but for those of you out there, we would like to give you a special welcome. If those in the sanctuary would turn over to the camera where Walayn is and join me saying, we welcome you. We welcome you. We feel you with us. We feel you with us. We love you. We love you. We're so glad you're here. Okay, so here at Unity in Lynnwood, we have some principles that we like to remind each other of every Sunday. And the first is our mission statement, which is super simple: practical spirituality, welcoming community. And I hope that you have already had that sense of welcoming community, because that's who we like to embody. And I also hope that by the time you leave here today, I don't know, maybe on Thursday morning when you're having your breakfast, you'll have a little flash of practical spirituality. Oh yeah, I remember that thing that they talked about there at Unity in Lynnwood on Sunday. That was kind of useful. So cross my fingers, you'll get that today. So to support that mission statement, we have value statements, and we have 7 of them that were created by our board. And today's is number 7, and it reads as follows: we support people. People, that's you, okay? We support people in realizing and expressing their divine potential in spirit, mind, and body. All 3. So we are here to honor that in you. Finally, we like to join together in reading our invocation, which reminds us of the truth of our being. So please join with me as we read together. Though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call that ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. Never gets old. So speaking of honoring, today we have an opportunity to honor someone who has given her heart and soul to this community over the last 7 years as our dedicated volunteer coordinator and all-around amazing human being. Michelle Van Eyck has done so much more than welcoming and volunteering. She has jumped in whenever necessary, in any capacity, and making a lasting impact on our community. During these last few years, she has also become a credentialed spiritual director through UWM and UWSI, an incredible journey of dedication. Her passion, her warmth, and her willingness to go above and beyond will be greatly missed. Can't cry now, there's a long way to go. So, Michelle, Kelly, would you join me up here, please? I'm going to give these to you now. Michelle, as you begin the next phase of your journey, I'd like to share words from Dr. Richard, who said, "In many moments, Michelle was the first experience of welcome for our visitors and guest presenters, and her welcome was one people remembered. Michelle's is a lovely spirit of curiosity and commitment expressed through laughter and authenticity. She is one of the most dedicated students I have ever experienced." And with that, we would like to give you this beautiful stole, easy for me to say, created by our wonderful stole prayer ministry. And I would like to ask you all to join me in this prayer. It will appear on the screen. May God's grace be upon this shawl, warming, comforting, enfolding, and embracing. May this mantle be a safe haven, a sacred place of security and well-being, sustaining and embracing in good times as well as difficult ones. May the one who received this shawl be cradled in hope, kept in joy, graced with peace, and wrapped in love. So please join us after service for a special celebration with cake as we express our heartfelt gratitude to Michelle for her unwavering commitment and hard work. Thank you, Michelle, for everything you've done. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Love you, girl. That makes me sad. However, we'll move on to something a little more uplifting. I wanted to start today's talk, the meaning in life, by playing a clip from the old Monty Python movie, The Meaning of Life. But alas, they wouldn't give me the copyrights for YouTube, darn it. But some of you might remember that film. It's a pretty irreverent look at the deep topic. For some of us, that movie may have come out during a time when we were wondering about our own spiritual journeys. Many of us have come to our spiritual journey Whether we are motivated by a less than wonderful experience from childhood or perhaps a swift kick in the butt from life's challenges, with a deep sense of seeking and questioning, well, what is the meaning of life anyway? Or its correlates, what's it all about? What's my purpose? All of these questions that you might have asked while perhaps sitting around a dorm room into the wee hours, perhaps activated by some kind of substance or maybe just youthful exuberance, I don't know. But in any event, after decades of thinking about this question, about the meaning of life, the English major in me would change the question just a little bit, because I don't think while we're living we're going to find out the meaning of life. But I think if we look at the meaning in life, we might have a little more satisfaction. And Monty Python, since I can't show it, I'll read it to you. And it's pretty simple. It goes like this, and I quote, "Try and be nice to people, avoid eating fat, read a good book every now and then, get some walking in, and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations." Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? Well, okay, that's not bad advice, but how do we go about this? Especially on days when we want nothing more than to eat a bunch of McDonald's fries while doom scrolling on social media, you know. How do we get into the practice of living in a life that helps us to feel connected to something larger than ourselves? So what's the secret to that? Well, if you're anything like me, showing up for church on Sunday is driven by a desire to connect in faith with people, again, each week. And this is from a dyed-in-the-wool introvert. Sorry to report. But, I mean, we could stay home and meditate and read or go for a walk in nature or listen to inspiring music, but there's something about doing all those things with others, with other people, even online, that grabs a hold of the heart and it reminds us of our connection, our absorption, our oneness with the one. But what are we after, really, when we go to church? What is the experience we want to have? I don't think it's just donuts or cake, you know. Even today's newcomers welcome. But I suggest we're after human connection and love. And I don't know about you, but my ability to express unconditional love needs constant tending. Yeah, I have to practice it like I would an instrument until difficult scales become easy and playing a piano concerto by Chopin is fluid and effortless, which would be really amazing since I don't actually play the piano, but practice we must, especially when times are challenging. My inclination of late has been to crawl under the biggest rock I can find, but that won't serve anyone, least of all oneself. We could be here all day discussing the definition of love, but we really break it down. It's about connection. Well, and let's start with a little science, because y'all know how much I love me some science. When we say we experience love, we are typically awash in a bunch of chemicals, which collectively produce a feeling that we call love. They make this fun little cocktail of hormones that include oxytocin, which is often called the love hormone, because it is released during physical touch, like hugging or cuddling, and it plays a big role in bonding and attachment. You add to that a dash of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, and it's associated with pleasure and reward centers in the brain. It's released when we do something enjoyable, including spending time with a loved one or maybe even petting our cat. Finally, add a splash of serotonin, which helps regulate mood and social behavior. High levels of serotonin are linked to feelings of happiness and well-being, which are often heightened when we're in love or just loving. There are others, but I'll spare you further chemistry lesson. Shaken or stirred, however you prefer, you have a recipe for love. But how do we manifest this little aperitif of amour? Well, as living beings, we are absolutely charged with electricity, and it regulates everything from how well our hearts beat to how well our brains transmit information to the functioning of our muscles. But did you ever think about how those charges are felt and exchanged with each other? Well, I like a good visual, so let's try this. I have in my possession this handy-dandy little electrical stick, and it will help us hear and see how this electricity works. I would like to invite my lovely assistant and husband up to the stage to help me demonstrate this. Round of applause for my good sport here, Tim. So, if I hold this end of the stick and he holds the other, we're connecting. We're connecting, yeah, but so, okay. But then, when we, one more time with love. Now we are connected. Thank you, lovely assistant. Electricity. And that doesn't just happen with your partner. It can really happen with anyone. He's just a good sport. Thank you, Mr. T. So the other day, a friendly acquaintance of mine posted this question on social media. Which is more obnoxious? The pedestrian who is A, walking across the street super slow, nose in the phone, paying no attention to cars, or B, sauntering down the center of a parking aisle while you're trying to drive, ignoring everything around them. Yeah, that was me too. My first response was, OMG. Both are so incredibly obnoxious, I can't pick one. Then I stopped myself. So I just lost my stepmother of 35 years about a month ago. And for the first week or two after her passing, I was just blindly crashing through life in a daze. Didn't I almost not see a pedestrian in the crosswalk the other day? Have I not done multiple dumb things in the last month as a result of my grief? Shouldn't we default on the side of grace when someone does something that we think is annoying? And here's the thing. Instead of posting a hell yes, bro response to this post, I thought, let's give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just lost their dog, or their kid is really sick, or they had a scary test result, or any one of a zillion distractions that might keep them from being their best. Now, cut the perpetrator some slack, for goodness sake. And you know what? As I decided to do this, I paid attention to what I was feeling. And instead of seeing my blood pressure go through the roof and my jaw clench when responding to that post, oh, what an idiot, I felt a wash in empathy for myself and for my fellow humans just trying to make do and get through the day. Taking a breath and breathing out kindness were much better choices than another round of mini rage, which is something really nobody needs to be doing right now. This might even remind you of John 8:11, where the woman who has purportedly committed adultery is brought before Jesus, and he says to the gathered crowd, some of you know it, let anyone among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. I think I'd say, after you, please. Yeah. Okay, well, how do we go about cultivating this capital L love? I mean, we say that we should spread kindness everywhere we go, but does anyone tell you how to do it? We're just supposed to walk around and be loving? Well, there have been days when I just don't feel kind about anyone or anything, frankly. So how do I go about shaking that off? So let me take you back in time to the beginning of my own spiritual journey, even before those dorm room experiences. Maybe something like this even happened to you. So there I was in high school, probably a sophomore or something, standing in front of my bathroom mirror one cold evening, probably brushing my teeth, when I stopped to stare into my own eyes. Just kept looking at my own pupils. Yeah, I know that's weird, but I'm sure some of you did it. I know you did. I know you did. And as I stared into my own eyes that evening many years ago, I had a huge feeling, like existential cymbals crashing, or some kind of deep cosmic sense that I was part of something so much bigger than my long brown hair and bluish eyes and pointy chin. Whatever I felt at that moment almost knocked me to my feet, and it stuck with me for the next few days. In fact, it was probably that experience that kick-started me on this lifelong search for meaning. I do remember the exercise of looking at yourself deeply in the mirror from time to time, and I recommend you try it, because at the very least, it might be a good time to remind yourself of your divinity, that truth of you that can never be taken away. Perhaps you might even remember a pivotal moment in your spiritual evolution where everything just sort of went kapow. Speaking of meaning, I would ask you again to reflect on those times when you felt deeply connected to something larger than yourself. Maybe it was watching the waves at sunset at Kauai, or standing next to a sequoia, or catching a vision of a shooting star. When you think of that moment, what's the first thing that you notice? It's probably a feeling. A sensation, maybe a tingling, maybe an accelerated heartbeat, maybe a quickening of the pulse that perhaps elicited an emotion, maybe wonder or awe or curiosity. The key word here is feeling. Try as we might, immersing ourselves in the intellectual pursuit of God doesn't typically get us where we want to go. But the flip side of throwing ourselves into the metaphorical fire or speaking in tongues probably won't open up your heart to God's love either. We need to find the sweet spot of learning, experiencing, and feeling. And back to my journey. Later in my 20s, I found a group of seekers led by a fellow, and he had a lot of pride in his intellect, and his wife made up sort of the intuitive feeling side of the duo. His writings on spirituality were dense and sometimes impenetrable, and I struggled mightily to understand his convoluted arguments. I thought if I could intellectually understand his talks, my path to enlightenment would be smooth and successful. Did I mention that I'm the daughter of an attorney? Yeah, well, okay. I ended up feeling and like a spiritual failure. My journey was a long one, full of dead ends and false starts and wrong turns, but I did learn something of value from him. Like learning perspective, shade, and color in painting, reading and studying spiritual teachers is part of our journey. We need to steep ourselves in the content and raw material of the great masters. As Jesus says in John 13:34, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you should also love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Years ago, I might have taken this passage as sort of a ho-hum snooze fest, telling me to love my friends, okay. But now I can see the exquisite truth of what it means that we are all one with the one, and loving each other is part of the path of that journey. For example, even our beloved Charles Fillmore describes God this way in the Revealing Word, and I quote, there is but one mind, and that mind cannot be separated or divided because, like the principle of mathematics, it is indivisible. All that we can say of the one mind is that it is absolute and that all manifestations are in essence like itself. End quote. Okay. If you're anything like me, God definitely does not feel like math, even girl math. Deepak Chopra says, and this is a little more accessible, we must find out for ourselves that inside of us is a god or goddess in embryo that wants to be born so that we can express our divinity. That's a little better. But my point is this: we can't intellectually bootstrap our way to knowing God. We won't experience God any better if we read more about God, or just read more about God. Have you ever been reading some spiritual tome only to stop yourself and just go, words, 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 so many words. Whew, time to step away from the words. When then do you have your most transcendent moments? When do you find yourself really feeling that you are one with the one? And most importantly, what does that feel like in your body? A little sidebar here. Most of us have grown up in traditions where paying attention to our feelings is discouraged. Particularly for cisgen men, accessing and expressing emotions is frowned upon. You know, big boys don't cry. Even women, especially those who might find themselves in a male-dominated profession, are encouraged to keep those feelings buttoned up and under wraps. Thank you very much. These admonishments serve to keep us from accessing what it's like to feel certain emotions in our bodies. One wonderful byproduct of mindfulness meditation, what would a talk for me be like without mindfulness meditation? Bringing your attention back to a certain object of focus. When you do that, you experience self-awareness of your body. You might recognize the first physical sensation and then be able to label that emotion associated with that sensation. Now, it takes some practice to get good at this, but when you do, you may realize that that wiggly sensation in your stomach is anxiety, or the warm feeling around your heart is love. Being able to identify these physical sensations and their corresponding emotions is an exercise in learning how to experience love. Okay, could do a little exercise, but don't worry, you don't have to actually move. Just a thinking exercise, a feeling exercise. So I would like you to imagine a situation this week where you were emotionally charged. Maybe somebody gaslighted you at work, or you got an unexpected hug from your grandchild, or someone proverbially cut you off in traffic, or maybe just your dog jumped on your lap just at the right moment. So bring that experience to mind. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. I'd like you to imagine the scenario. What are you seeing? Were there any sounds, loud or soft? Was touch involved in any way? Were there any smells in the environment? Were you eating anything? Embody that image as best you can. Now I want you to scan your body, making note of any sensation that you feel. Is your head feeling pressure? Maybe your neck is tensing up. Butterflies in your stomach, clenched fists, or maybe just a warm, peaceful feeling. Take notice of these sensations and then see if you can label them. Maybe anger, love, fear. And if nothing's coming, that's okay too. Take another breath into that emotion, feeling it fully. Then on your next breath, just let it all go. If you close your eyes, open them, and just shake that off a little bit if you need to. Could have been a little traumatic. I don't know how your week was. So, why did we do this exercise? Because with practice, it will teach you to be able to feel what is going on inside of you. And this emotional awareness is absolutely key, not only to living your best life, but also in living in those moments of connection, of absorption, of oneness with God. The better you get at paying attention to what's going on inside of you in the now moment, the more now moments of awareness you can string together, and before you know it, you are living in love, in harmony, more often. You have more moments of joy and oneness because you're noticing them. And what is this experience if not living as often as possible in the state of yes, capital L, love? Okay, I can hear the skeptics out there saying, bah humbug. Why should I pay attention to painful feelings and distressing emotions? That's highly uncomfortable. That's a very good question. And the answer is because when you actually pay attention to the now moment, you realize that all physical sensations and emotions last for a few seconds or maybe minutes at most. Even if you have chronic pain, that I speak from experience, the pain is not present all the time. It's the dwelling on the pain, the ruminating on the pain, the attachment to the pain that causes the suffering. As Buddha says, attachment is at the root of all suffering. Perhaps you have noticed when you do sense that feeling of awe, of beauty, of wonder that overtakes you when you experience a particularly beautiful sunrise or a moonlit ocean or a majestic forest or a double rainbow. This feeling is not just simple wonder. Awe is a deep emotion that can make us feel both incredibly small and part of something so much larger. We feel connected to something much bigger than ourselves. And this awe can easily segue into love, that deepest of human emotions that motivates us to be our best Christ-like selves. My teacher from my 20s put it this way: people will not submit to the rigors of spiritual growth without first having experienced some deep link to the radical reality behind the world of mere appearances. That experience might be seeing a shooting star, watching the birth of a baby, or, I don't know, cuddling your iguana, whatever, floats your boat. But the point is, these sensations of connection, of awe, of love, are not intellectual experiences. You can't read or reason your way to an experience of God. Even Carl Sagan said, "Science is not only compatible with spirituality, it is a profound source of spirituality. When we recognize our place in an immensity of light years and in the passage of ages, when we grasp the intricacy, the beauty, and the subtlety of life, then that soaring feeling, that sense of elation and humility combined, is surely spiritual." So let's take a couple of minutes and let these ideas settle. If you're comfortable, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Just let it come and go as it wants. Pay attention to it, letting the breath be free and easy and relaxed. Feel the rise and fall of your breath and how it just comes and goes without clinging or grasping. See if you can feel that force that's breathing you. Imagine a warm, glowing light in the center of your chest. This light is love. As you breathe in, see the light growing brighter and stronger. As you breathe out, feel the warmth spreading throughout your body. Silently repeat these affirmations to yourself. I am deserving of love. I give and receive love freely. My heart is open to love and compassion. Imagine this warm, glowing light expanding beyond your body, filling the room around you. Visualize it reaching out to your loved ones, to your friends, to strangers. See the light touching their hearts, filling them with love and warmth. Now, bring your focus back to your breath. Move your body a little bit. Open your eyes and welcome back to love. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Now is the time for us to offer opportunities to practice giving and receiving, that we might cooperate with the reciprocal nature of the spiritual universe. In other words, while your giving matters to us, we suggest your giving matters to you as well. Electronic giving options are now on the screen. For those choosing to give a physical gift, the ushers will gratefully pass baskets. If you're on site and prefer to give by credit card, there is an electronic giving station just outside the doors at the back. And if you would like information about UIL's programs of regular giving, planned giving, or legacy giving, please take a Giver's Circle brochure or write the Board of Trustees directly. For those already participating, we extend a special thanks. Please join me now in our affirmation as it appears on the screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say
So before we get to invitations, I just wanted to see if there's anybody here for the first time that we could welcome. Yep, okay. Welcome very much. Just to draw your attention to the fact that we would like to give you a free daily word. This is a little publication put out by Unity. It's been going for over 100 years, and it's full of daily affirmations and prayers that might be of inspiration to you. And also in your chair back in front of you, there are resources. You can fill out your email address if you'd like to receive a monthly email telling you what's going on here, and other resources too I'll let you look through. I will be at the back, the welcome and information station, for a few minutes after the service if you have questions. And for everybody, I also want to point out that in the bookstore, we have these Lent booklets called In the Garden. They're beautiful, put out specially for the season of Lent, and they are there as a gift for everyone who's here. If you're online, they are also available as a publication at unity.org. Okay, invitations. Please register for all events by visiting the calendar page at unity@inlynnwood.org. If you have a compliment or a comment, please write welisten@unityinlynnwood.org. We're here for you. This is a first Sunday. Happy March. And first Sundays are Connection Sundays. One thing that means is that any small group or volunteer leader present today with us can invite your questions about their programs. So that newcomers might know who you are, would leaders of small groups please stand? And if you, yeah, thank you. The other thing with Connection Sunday is that we have a really amazing potluck. It used to definitely be called Newcomers Potluck, now Connection Sundays, right? So for everybody. But please feel welcome to stay, everybody, and join us for a feast in Friendship Hall afterwards. Thursday, March 6th, 6:30 to 8:30 is teen night here. Do you know a teen looking for a fun night out? We are excited to invite them to teen night. It's a fantastic opportunity to hang out, connect, and make new friends. Spread the word and let them know about this special event just for teens. More information is available on our website. Sunday, March 16th at 12:30, so right after service, is our next town hall. Join us for an important meeting where we will continue our discussion on the minister search and explore the direction we want to take as a community. Your point of view matters, and we want to hear from you. Tuesdays, March 18th through April 15th, join our 5-part Unity Prayer Zoom class, starting March 18th, led by Dana Consuelo and Barbara Thorpe, which they will explore Discover Your Divinity, a publication by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett. Deepen your understanding of affirmative prayer with a suggested love offering of $99, which is going for the benefit of the general fund for the church. This is a wonderful opportunity to get to know members of our supportive community while sharing in the practice of prayer. Sunday, March 23rd, 12:30, Introduction to Nonviolent Communication, or NVC, which focuses on enhancing awareness of language to express personal values and understand others' needs through empathic communication. The process fosters compassionate communication and conflict resolution. Thursdays, we have a lot of announcements today. Thursdays, April 3rd to May 22nd, join Reverend Denise Schelling for the Quantum Living Training, a 21-day practice integrating quantum science, neurobiology, and mystical traditions. Transform circumstances, gain deep self-insights, and break free from old patterns. Special discounts are available for Unity in Lynnwood community members. Did you know that we have volunteer opportunities? We can't wait to see your vibrant, energetic, and fantastic personality shine. Yes, you. Please visit the Welcome and Information Station after the service to find the perfect fit for your amazing spirit. Come and join in the fun that is Unity in Lynnwood. And my last announcement. As part of our new communications strategic plan, there will be a board member available at the back of the sanctuary after every Sunday service to answer any questions you may have about UIL policies, finances, or the minister transition process. And they will be wearing a special hat. So today, it's our friend Tim. Looks like the Mad Hatter, right? He'll be at the back for that. And also the welcome host, which today is me, but on other days, whoever it is, will be also happy to continue answering general questions at the information station back there. So that's it. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, there's no shortage of things to do around here. So before we leave one another today, let's just have another group affirmation of our unity statement of faith, if we have that available. And if you'd like to join me in reading this, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the infinite, living, loving presence of God. And if you would like a little help in remembering those words, we have fabulous trained prayer chaplains who will meet with you after service today. They will be in the physical sanctuary up front, and if you are online and wish to receive some prayer support, you can send an email to prayer@unityinlynnwood.org. Include your phone number. That's how we can call you. We're not that good yet, psychically. And expect a call from an anonymous number within 24 hours. And would the prayer chaplains in service today just give us a little wave? Thank you. Thank you, Dana and Barbara. And now we will end, as we always do, with beautiful sung words of blessing and sung words of farewell.
May the peace of God surround you as you go along your way. May the joy of life flow through you as you work and as you play. And may the light of who you are shine through in all you do. May the love we share today belong with you.